Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Camaro, with Dying to DIY. And for today's video, I have 5 Halloween DIYs in store for you. So excited for those. I cannot wait to show you all how I made them. They are phenomenal. They turned out really well, and I love it. I am loving the turnout. They are super easy, super simple, and the best part is they are super cheap. Yes. All of the products I purchased either from Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Target Dollar Spot, or the 99-cent only stores. So they are very accessible to everybody. I cannot wait to jump right in and get started, but before I do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. It's honestly going to help us both out in the long run. You help me, I help you. I am loving that friendship already, and I hope you are too. So without further ado, let's get started. For my first project, I will be going in with these candle pedestals, and then I will also be using the lids from these little cookie containers or treat containers. Both of these items are from Dollar Tree. With these items, I will be making a cute little Halloween themed tiered tray. I'm going to start by lining the first pedestal with E6000, and then I'm going to go in with some hot glue. It just really makes for a quick stick, but as the E6000 dries, it really allows everything to stay in place. The hot glue dries quicker, but the E6000 is stronger. Next, I'm going to start by aligning the second pedestal with the E6000 and the hot glue combo, and I'm going to start building the second part of the tiered tray. Just try to line it up as best as you can, make sure everything is even and nice and centered. Again, I'm going to repeat the process on this part of the pedestal in order to complete the top part of the tiered tray. And here is how the Halloween tiered tray turned out. I absolutely love it. It turned out so good, and it was so quick and so easy. Such a simple DIY, but yet it really packs a punch for your decor. You can also add maybe some sweet treats on there, some Halloween themed cupcakes or donuts, whatever you are feeling. For my next project, I will be giving this large cloche a spooky Halloween makeover. So for my next project, I decided to do a poisoned themed cloche. I went in with this poison bottle that I found at the Target Dollar Spot, along with this mini cauldron from Dollar Tree, as well as one of the skeletons from the skeleton garland from Dollar Tree as well. I just went ahead and played around with the skeleton until I was satisfied with his position and the way that he looked. My original idea was to have half of his body outside of the cloche and half of his body inside the cloche, but I decided to go on to a different route and have him just kind of hanging out of the cauldron. So I placed some of the Dollar Tree bones in there as well. I took off his legs so I was able to maneuver him a little bit easier. And then in the end, I actually do place his legs inside of the cauldron as well. So at this point, I could have stopped and just left it as is, but I just felt like it was missing something. It needed a little bit more. So I took the rings from Dollar Tree and I cut off the parts that make it a ring, so it was easier to glue on the outside of the cloche. I just really liked the way it looked, like the spiders were trying to get inside of the cloche. I thought it was really neat. So after I was done gluing all the spiders on that I wanted, I then decided, yes, I do want his legs hanging out of the cauldron, so I just kind of bent them and then glued them into place. And here is how this one turned out. I love this one as well. It's really fun, but yet it's really spooky and creepy, and it was also super easy and super simple to make. I really love dressing up these cloches because they're just so versatile. You can dress them up in so many different ways. You can add so many different things in there, and it just makes it a lot of fun. For my third project, I'm going to make this really cute ghost garland. I'm going to go in with the Ghost Color Your Own Ornament package from Dollar Tree along with this pom-pom garland from Dollar General. I'm going to start out by painting the ghosts white, and then we're going to add a little bit of a antique wax to them to just give them a little bit of character. So for this dark wax, I just start out with a little bit of cheesecloth and just dab it in very lightly because a little goes a long way. But I just wanted to start going around the edges and around the eyes and the mouth area. It just really gives it an antique look, and I just feel like it gives it a lot more character. Here you can really see just how cute they are with that dark wax on there. So now that the ghosts are all painted and ready to go, I'm going to fold the garland in half so it gives me a better idea of where I need to place my ghosts. So for this project, I lined up the two pom-poms together, the black and the white ones, and then you can see where the strings are in the middle. We're going to go ahead and cut the strings in the middle, and then we're going to thread the string through the top of the ghost and then tie a little knot on the back. This is going to make it so much easier for you rather than having to take the pom-poms completely off the string and then rethreading them. There is just no way the string is going to go through the pom-poms again. It's going to be extremely hard. So cutting the string in the middle where you want the ghosts to go and then just tying a little knot is going to be so much easier. And here you have it! How stinking cute is this ghost garland? I am totally obsessed. This is probably my favorite project that I did out of these 5. I just really love the way it turned out. So simple and just so cute. I cannot get enough of it. This would look great on a fireplace mantle, maybe hanging above your window for some window decor, but for $2 you just cannot go wrong. Okay, so for my 4th project, I will be decorating this little cage that I found at the 99-cent only store. I'm going to go ahead and add these rats that I found at Dollar Tree. One is dead and one is alive. I just thought it was a really cool contrast, you know, has that morbid Halloween feel to it that basically the rat that's alive, he's kind of just awaiting his fate as he, you know, is stuck in this cage. So instead of just decorating the cage and letting that be that, I decided to make a base for it using this Dollar Tree skeleton head. I went in and painted it white using this super cheap spray paint from Walmart. And then I just started cutting out the top of his cranium so I could place the cage on top of there. And I just kind of eyeballed it as I went. If it was still uneven, I just went ahead and cut around it to make it as flat as possible. Okay, so once I was happy with the way the cage was fitting on the top, it was nice and flat, I went into my yard and found a couple of rocks so that I could weigh the skull down since it was so top heavy. I just didn't want the cage and the skull to keep falling over. Next, I went in with these little spooky creatures that I found at Dollar Tree, and I just kind of placed them here and there. And then in a minute here, you'll see that I do glue some of them to the top of the cage to look like they're kind of just hanging in there, which I thought was really cool. Again, I went in with the spider rings and I just cut off the part that makes them a ring because it's easier to just glue wherever you need to. I added a couple to the skull on the bottom and then a couple around the cage and on the dead rat. You know, it just gives it a little bit more of a Halloween touch, more character. Again, I'm just using some of the bones that I got from Dollar Tree, and then here is where you will see that I am just kind of hot gluing the rats, or I guess little mice inside of the cage so they're dangling inside. I just thought it was a really cool, fun touch. Okay, so my last step for this project was to go in with those spooky creatures again. I used the scorpions this time and just kind of placed them here and there around the outside of the cage. Just make it look like they're trying to get in, trying to eat that dead rat maybe. You know, you just gotta use your imagination. That's what it's all about. Anyways, here is how this one turned out. Totally awesome. I love this one too. I think the skeleton as the base, it just really brings it to the next level, and I just love it. It looks so good. Okay, we've made it to the 5th and final project. I am going to be making a really cool and really fun glowing skeleton head. I'm going to start by measuring the wall border to the size of the canvas just to make sure I know where to cut. We just want to cover up as much of that canvas as we can. Also, I do want to mention that we are going to be using the back of the canvas, so it's kind of like a shadow box, which brings me to my next step. We are going to glue the purple lights on the inside of that canvas. So in the beginning, I just kind of started gluing along the edge, and then I kind of wrapped it up into the middle. But when I put the wall border on and lit it up, I didn't really like where the inside lights were glowing on the skeleton head, so I did go back out and kind of glue them based on where the eyes and the nose are on the skeleton. Quick side note, I do want to mention that all of these items are from Dollar Tree. The canvas, the wall border, and the lights. So for my next step, I'm going to go in with just a little bit of packing tape, and that is how I'm going to station the wall border onto the canvas. But if you are going to make these, learn from my mistake and please paint the outside of that canvas black first. Since the wall border doesn't cover all the edges of the canvas, you just don't want the white to be showing. Honestly, that was just a personal choice, and I think it looks better if it's just all black. So go ahead and paint that black so you don't have to do it later on like I did, and it makes it a lot harder. Okay, so after I had the wall border positioned and taped on there, I just went ahead and added some of the bones and hands and spooky creatures from Dollar Tree and Dollar General around the edge, just kind of whatever I had left over, just to give it some extra spookiness and some extra Halloween touches. Here is when I realized that some of that canvas was still showing, and I tried to fix it by adding some of the wall border to it, but it just wasn't working out how I had pictured in my mind. So again, I went in and painted the sides just with an all black paint. So make sure you do that ahead of time and not how I did it. And here it is. So cool, you guys. I really love the way this one turned out. I am super proud of myself for this one. So cool how he has those glowing eyes, the glowing mouth, yes, and then just all the extra little added spooky touches around the edge really give it, you know, that spook factor, that wow factor. Okay guys, there you have it. 5 super simple, super easy, and super cheap Halloween DIYs. I am so happy with the way all of these turned out. I really can't pick a favorite one. I just love them all equally. I hope you guys do as well. If you do, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you see more videos like this. You know, maybe leave me a comment down below. Which one are you gonna make? Which one did you like the best? Also, if you guys do decide to make these, which I really hope you do, I would love that so much. But if you do, don't forget to tag me on Instagram or Facebook. Both of those are Dying to DIY. guys, well, yep, there you have it. That wraps it up. I really hope you enjoyed all of these DIYs as much as I did. Okay, I will see you in the next video. Bye!